Hi, welcome to This is English. My name's Rich. Today we're going to look at modals. Now, these videos are quite short. We don't have time to look at all the modals, so I'm just going to focus on 4 of them today. But they're quite similar. They're to do with obligation. Obligation are things that you've either got a choice or no choice. And in most cases, when something is an obligation, you don't have a choice. It's something that you must do. So let's start with the word must. Must indicates no choice. For example, if you go to the airport and you take an international flight, you must have a passport. There's no choice, no passport, no flight. The opposite of this word is mustn't, which of course is the combination of must and not. Just be careful with where you put the apostrophe in that. I often see that that's in the wrong place. But we have to understand that these two things are completely opposite. Must, 100%, you have to do this, and mustn't is the opposite. For example, must is something you've got no choice. Again, talking about the airport, you go to an international flight, you must have a passport. Must not, don't forget, be careful with the apostrophe, you must not smoke on the aeroplane. Completely illegal. They really don't like that. Now, another use of must, or a synonym of must, is have to. You could argue that must and have to are slightly different. To me, they're pretty much the same. They're more or less identical. You have to carry your passport. However, this is where it gets confusing, because don't have to, logically, sounds like the opposite, but actually, it's completely not the opposite. It's really in the middle. When you don't have to do something, it means that you do have the choice, but it's not an obligation. Now, for example, let's say that you go to the airport, but your flight is internal. It's a domestic flight. For example, let's say that I'm really lazy and I take an aeroplane from London to Manchester, both cities, of course, inside England. Now, I don't need to carry my passport for that. But probably they'll ask me for some ID, maybe I'll use a passport, maybe I'll use a driving license. But you could say you don't have to have your passport for domestic flights. So don't forget, must and mustn't, they're opposites. Have to and don't have to, they don't have opposite meanings. Just be careful with that one. We're going to talk more about modals in some videos later on. Hope you'll watch those ones too. And if you want to download the link and practice these modals I've talked about today, please do so. And we'll see you again on This is English.